live? Okay. Hello, YouTube coin community. Oh, let me get that going. This is me, Robert, with Cointalk. How you doing today? I hope everybody's having a wonderful, wonderful day. We have exciting new guests today, so I hope everybody is ready. Get your questions out because we just want to get everyone to ask questions. If you have any questions about CAC, get them together. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to start out like we normally do with news. So we're going to take and let Brad take away the news and let you guys know where your local shows are. So, Brad, take it away.
Greetings, everyone. Well, the coin show's coming up on September 1st. The Greensburg Coin Club show in Irwin, Pennsylvania. The Garden State Coin Currency and Stamp show in Parsippany, New Jersey. South Jersey Coin and Currency in Lindenwold, New Jersey. And the Gold Coast Coin Show in Hollywood, Florida. Coming up on September 6th through the 8th, the Oklahoma Numismatic Association Greater Tulsa Coin Show in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. On the 7th only, the Knoxville Coin and Currency Show in Knoxville, Tennessee. We have Cornucopia Coin and Currency Show in Tennessee. In Tampa, Florida. Tampa, Florida, Cornucopia. On the 8th, the South Brevard Coin Show in Melbourne, Florida. The 71st Street Coin Show in Indianapolis, Indiana. Universal Coin Show, Fairview Park, Ohio. The Burlington Coin Show in Burlington Township, New Jersey. Also on the 8th, the Montgomery County Coin Show in Telford, Pennsylvania. The Orange Coin and Collectible Show in Orange, Connecticut. And we have the West Suburban Coin and Collectible Show, Countryside, Illinois. And last but not least, on the 8th, the North Metro Coin Show, Maple Grove, Minnesota. Just before I came on, gold was trending at $2,521 an ounce, silver at $29.35 an ounce, and platinum at $939. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you the queen of CAC, the head of CAC Grading Customer Service. We have Allie with us today, visiting from the headquarters here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And Robert, bring Allie on. There she is. Hi, Allie.
Hello.
And Allie's here to answer all of your questions because she is tired of answering mine. So please, everyone, come up with something intelligent, which I cannot. And yes, Blue Moon, I got my hair cut. Thank you very much for noticing. So let's have some questions from the panel. Let's bring the panel back in. Who's on the panel today, Robert? Robert's there. Joe Durbin's here. Brandon's here. Oh, there's Nick. So there's some of the panelists that you're used to seeing with us every Thursday. So please, questions from the panel. Let's start there since nobody at home has asked a question yet. Everybody's muted. Take everybody off mute, Robert.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Thank you very much. So, panelists, do you have any questions for Allie to start us off?
I do.
Okay.
I feel like Robert is really gonna dig deep to try and challenge me here. I'll take it.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I did do my homework, but I have questions that I think would possibly be inappropriate only because it would ask too personal of business practices for CAC itself. So I'm going to leave those alone. But I guess my first question is, why now? Why did CAC take and so soon after PCGS and NGC came under new management, it seems like, CAC all of a sudden went from doing just the green bean, gold beans to now actually grading? So that's my question. Why now?
Yeah, so when you look at the market that we have right now, especially for coins that are graded, mostly JA had this opinion that with gradeflation right now, it's a little out of control. And so their whole point was to take it from you having to send it to a grading service and then send it to CAC for. Sorry, my team is over there. They're watching as well, so they're getting all excited. So sorry. So they wanted to take it to, instead of it being two different places and two different processes, we all know that, a lot of the grading services have extended turnaround times. So you're looking at sending in a coin to get graded and then to, also get verified. We took that out of the entire equation and you get it done right the first time. So the first time you send it in, we have quick turnaround times, and that's kind of the why now. I can almost guarantee you JA would counter that with why not now. It's been a while since a new service has really taken the industry by storm. JA has just a wonderful reputation in what he's doing, and with the 150 shareholders, including myself, we're passionate about bringing joy and ultimately just a straight line to the whole idea of grading. So I could get super philosophical on this, but yes, John Albanese is the founder of both CAC and CAC Grading. He founded CAC, which for anyone who doesn't know, is a verification service. So it's yet another third-party service where you could send your PCGS graded coins into the CAC stickering office, and John Albanese would ultimately say, okay, this is, this is the highest tier quality for this grade. So we took it from two different services. Now we're one, and it's been exciting to say the least. I've been in the industry for a while, so seeing the change that's happening kind of here is crazy.
Great. I was about to ask who JA was, since we got a JB. I just wanted to.
We have a JB too.
Well, I was going to say, also, Allie, you're more than welcome to turn the camera around and introduce your team if you'd like. We'd be love to see your team.
Should I tell them to come in here? I bet they would love that.
That would be fine with us.
Oh, yeah, get the team in
bring
there.
Bring them on in. Yeah, we'll be more than happy to let them take
here.
an introduce.
They're shy.
So one thing about my team, I'm extremely passionate about customer service. Relationship and knowledge-based customer service is what we have here. So I have hired two of the absolute best reps that I've ever met. This is Dominique.
Hi.
And this is Janae. This is the team. So whenever you reach out to CAC Grading, this is who you get. We are really big on making sure that all of our reps are well trained in numismatics, as well as just wanting to form a genuine connection with our submitters. So this is the team. I'm very, very proud of them, and I love having them here.
Well, Allie, that's one of the most important things I think about CAC is that almost everyone in the building is numismatically connected. That when you talk numismatics with them, you get a straight and an intelligent answer rather than, I guess I got to talk to somebody upstairs. So that's what impresses me most about your staff, is that they're all conversant in our special language.
Yes, and that's the first thing that we do. Typically, the first 2 to 3 weeks that someone new here starts, it's all numismatic training. I hire people that are typically already great with people, and they both have the it quality. So it's just fine tuning that into getting a little bit more knowledge, specifically in numismatics.
I haven't asked yet, Allie. Have you gotten to collecting anything yet?
No, you guys have started collecting.
We?
Yeah, you guys have samples.
We have some samples. I have quite a few samples that I have been collecting.
Yeah, so I try to bring them back samples, or if I can find something cheap at a show, just because, not money bags over here. But, but yes, so I'm incredibly proud of my team. They're here. Probably shouldn't be here for too much longer with the phones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Allie.
Yes.
Can we go through that two-week training even if we're not employees of CAC?
It
Yeah,
is a
JD,
crash course.
You could use a crash course on how to get along with people.
I mean, like I said, in my experience with customer service, whenever you're talking to someone on the phone about something, having someone with knowledge of what you're asking makes all the difference in the world. So when you're talking to someone about a pedigree request or about a certain variety, instead of having someone that doesn't know at all what you're talking about, both of my reps know exactly what those are. And even if they don't know the answer, they stop at nothing to find it. So I'm incredibly proud of the team, and I look forward to expanding it. So yeah.
Nick has a question for you, Allie.
Will CAC grade my NFL? Oh, God, I wish. I have some stuff I would like to get graded. Not at this time, unfortunately. Maybe someday. But yeah, not at this time. Does CAC tribute double dies and errors? Yes, we do. The error program is relatively new in the last 4 months, but we are working with a specialist. So yes, we also have a variety guy in-house. We typically go by the cherry picker's guide. So if it's in there, you're good. And then what was I going to say? Oh, red book varieties, anything in the red book that's automatically attributed for free. But we also do things a little bit differently with our variety program. We like to reward people who do their homework beforehand. And while it makes me want to throw up to say something nice about Brad, he was very kind in he wrote down all of his varieties very neatly, and therefore was only charged $10 versus $20 for the variety because he went through and did the homework for every single one. So
that means you have to actually trust him as well.
We still double check.
They trust but verify.
Yes, we still double check everything.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine because I question him myself quite a bit.
Yeah, so for this question, can you submit coins to CAC for grading? So we have this really awesome, it's called the Grading Club, and we just started that probably about 4 months ago, and you can sign up. It's prorated for the year, so right now it's typically $99 for the year, but you get $50 in grading credit, you get a magazine subscription, and yeah, so we're doing that. You can absolutely submit just on your own. That's relatively new, but it's all over our website. Yes, that's the magazine you get.
So a little better, Brad. You ain't got to be in the picture. There you go.
But yeah, so we do have that. So you can absolutely submit on your own. If you go onto our website, you can sign up for that. Because it's prorated right now, I want to say it's like maybe $30 for the remainder of the year. But yeah, you still get that grading credit, and that's kind of the whole deal.
Okay, if you don't mind, Nick, you had a question. Why don't you take and ask your question right here, right now?
She answered it.
Oh, she did?
She did, yeah. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
unfortunately, yeah. I wish we did, because I have a lot of cool coins over here that I would definitely submit. But unfortunately, right now we only have from the U.S. catalog. From I think Fujio cents are the earliest we will do, but it has to be from the U.S. Mint, and it has to be like a denomination coin. Unfortunately. But maybe someday I'll keep you in mind. If we ever start doing some more expanding out, I'll definitely keep you in mind.
Thank you.
How long does it take if we submit coins to CAC to be graded? So right now we are a little bit busy. We just recently returned, as I'm sure a lot of you saw. We were at the ANA show, and that was by far our most successful show. We took in almost triple what we normally do. So by the time we got back home, we had a lot of work cut out for us, and we had a lot of people sign up at that show too. So we are a little bit of a backlog, about a week away from our normal turnaround times. But our normal turnaround times are typically within 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, that's not bad.
And that's for the economy.
You get coins back from CAC and can sell them before PCGS or NGC sends them to the grading room.
we try to work on our strengths, and we know that is when we came out with all of this new grading service, and when you ask the question why, this is another one of those things where just the sheer amount of backlog. There's clearly people who want to submit. The other services are more than busy. So introducing something where we can promise you a turnaround time, and we can stay up on that, and that's something. I mean, the market changes way too often for something to be sitting at a grading service for months at a time. I mean, if it comes down to it.
Coin Pro, to answer your question, that's what this magazine is. This is a cash pricing.
So we do work with Graysheet though. So that pricing is powered by Graysheet.
But if you're interested in knowing somebody's opinion on what your CAC coins or stickered coins are worth, you can use this magazine, as well as if you subscribe to Graysheet, they list things on their online guides that list the CAC prices also.
Correct. Yeah. Let's see, I see you do foreign coins. So right now we do a very limited number of modern coins that are foreign. I want to say we do some from Australia, a couple from Great Britain, a couple Canadian, and a couple Mexican coins.
Are those bullion related, Allie? Then
yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Regular issue foreign coins are a future rollout.
Yes. That's something we're working towards. I mean, just picture, if you're a U.S. coin grader, you have about 250 years to go through to look through for U.S. coins, but for world coins, it is extremely expansive, and it takes. Oh my God, that's a puppy.
That's Brandon's new bride.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, wow!
Still better looking than you.
Oh. I get her. I get her so much.
Easily distracted by dogs. Oh my gosh. Way too cute. Okay. I don't even remember what I was saying. That just zapped the thought right out of my brain.
We were talking about grading foreign coins, Allie.
Or insulting Brad. I mean, take your pick.
That's more of a second language to me.
And I get that language.
It comes very naturally, but he just makes it way too easy.
Too easy. Yes.
But yes, foreign coins. That is something we are working towards, and it is absolutely something we want to do in the future.
And you will also have metals in the works for future grading then?
Yes.
So, Nick, when they start grading metals, I'll let you know.
Okay. Allie, you may have already answered this when you talked about Brad doing the research. Does that stand for anybody doing research on a variety, or can anybody submit their coin and put down the variety that they have already researched?
Yeah, so sorry, I should probably explain that a little bit clearer. So typically with a grading service, if you write down the variety and it turns out that you're right, you pay the full fee. If you submit a coin and you don't write anything down, you're only charged, if they don't find a variety, you're only charged half. So let's say the charge is $20. Instead, you're only being charged $10 if they don't find something. So in the spirit of the hobby and in the spirit of, rewarding the people that take the time to do the research and are truly passionate about, going above and beyond for their coins, when you write down a variety and it turns out to be correct, you're only charged $10. So we kind of do it a little bit opposite, but again, that's because we found that a lot of people that submit varieties, they know what the varieties are, and so we want to be able to reward that and the fact that they pointed us to the exact page number and paragraph, and all we need to do is verify it. So that is one thing. And sorry, but we're going to comment as a submitter when a coin is returned as details. What do you think about putting a comment on it about why it didn't grade out? So this is something that we've gone back and forth about. Right now, if you select holder of details, it will come back on the holder what the details code is. If you select no, it is just returned to you as is. for that is when we return something with any kind of information on it. So let's say we return a 1955 double die and it comes back as details. And we put down, cleaned obverse. Because that's not sealed and because it's not in any way like really attached to our brand, we can't put those kind of details necessarily on there. We put down, like if it's counterfeit, we try to relay that information. But for the most part, we only give out that specific information if you request for it to be holdered. So what I typically tell people, even if you don't like details graded coins, you're paying for the plastic anyway, and you're paying for the service anyway. You might as well just get it like holdered, and then if you don't like it, you can always crack it out. Just kind of from my from my experience with people. But yes, no paper money yet. That's another one of those things where we're going to need a lot of machines and specialists and double the staff that we have now. So that's definitely something that I know in the future, if we can break into, we will. It's kind of the same with comic books and great cards and all of that other kind of stuff. That's kind of a whole different ballgame. Anyone in this industry will tell you that's night and day. So not quite yet, but we may get there.
Talking about gearing up and stuff, your holder, in fact, I believe me and some other dealers, we've actually talked about this. They feel very light, and to be honest, they feel cheap. However, when people try to break into them, they are extremely difficult, which I'm very impressed with that. I know Larry Briggs, who had SEGs, of course, and he had put a lot of technology into the holder. So is there any information you can give us about tax holders? Because I am impressed with them. In fact, I got a few coins already graded by you guys, and I'm impressed with the holders and the way they look, feel. I like the lightness, but I also like the durability. So is there anything you can add to that?
Yeah, I know we have. Hang on 1 second. So it is medical grade plastic. I'll just speak of what I have off the top of my head. So it is medical grade plastic, and a lot of time and effort went into that. Everything is made here in the USA. We're very proud of that fact. We use vendors that are, of course, in the US. As far as like the specifics on the type of plastic and all of that, I can't speak too much to that, but there was a lot of work that went into those holders. I have been here since October of 2022 at CEC Grading, before we had a building, before we even really had a company. And all of that time was spent measuring and figuring out the perfect schematic for a coin holder. It went through a lot of different people to test. It was a labor of love, to say the least. It was a lot.
So are the holders more scratch resistant than your competitors?
I can't speak to that, only in that I hear mixed things. So some people swear by our holders and that they do not scratch, and then other people, I think it depends largely what you're doing. If you're taking anything in and out of something constantly, it's going to get those micro abrasions. That's just the way that it goes. So when it could be dealers traveling, it could be certain situations. They could scratch more. It depends on the person. I mean, I have a holder here that's
I like the way they lock together.
Yes, they do lock together. They don't scratch when they lock together. And I'm sure that'll lead to a question about our box. We are working on a CAC plastic box. It is in the works right now. It's something, again, we've put a lot of time and effort into. We've asked a lot of people in the hobby, and we want to get this right. It's going to be a awesome project, and I'm super excited about it. And more than that, I'm excited for people to not ask me about the boxes anymore. That's the number one question we get. Hopefully it will be soon. But yeah, so as far as them scratching, it really depends on, I mean, I have a holder here that's 30 years old and doesn't have a single scratch on it, but I'm sure someone else that travels or uses or, moves around with it a lot, I'm sure theirs could be covered in scratches. It just depends on kind of what you're doing, I would say, for the most part.
So just to tell a few people a little bit about your background, you worked for PCGS for quite a while, right?
I did. I worked at PCGS. I started in 2012, and I worked off and on there because I was in college, so I had a couple other jobs that I had to take. But yes, been at I was at PCGS for just about 10 years. I first worked in the receiving department, so I worked on the operations side, and then slowly moved over to customer care because I just love talking to people. So that was a really, really fun transition. And from there, I started going to more coin shows. And really, the thing that I always tried to do more than anything was just to make sure that if someone asked a question I didn't know the answer to, that I did the research and I figured out what the answer was. And that's ultimately kind of what I encourage most people that are starting off. It's the best way you're going to learn things.
Could you take and for people who are out there who may not know, speak a little bit about the graders that you guys brought with you? Because, you know, one of the things that I'm constantly telling my people about on this channel is buy the coin, don't buy the holder. Because so many times, and I know that John Albanese, is very familiar with this, a lot of times the coin does not match up to the grade on the holder. So
yeah, so our graders, our senior grader and president would be Ron Javusky. It's a very well-known name in the industry. He worked previously and was a founder of he worked previously at NGC for many, many years. He's very well respected. He does an awesome job. He goes to shows. He's very passionate about connecting with submitters and the collectors in a lot more of a deeper way than some of the other grading services. Ultimately, that's across the board kind of what we've tried to do more than anything is be more accessible. We don't want to hide behind a grading service and everything else and just put that out front and not be part of the community. We want to put the passion of the hobby back into it. And that's what all of our graders are ultimately very passionate about.
Ron just got a national award also at the ANA, right?
Yeah, the Abe Kossoff Award, if I'm saying that correctly. Yeah, so he was just given that award. Like I said, he's extremely approachable in a way that not a lot of people are in the industry. And you won't find someone who's more willing to learn and to sit down with someone and talk. Brad, as you experienced when you came out here, ultimately just someone who is willing to listen. We also have, obviously, John Albanese, founder of both CAC and GC. He helped found PCGS as well, and CAC grading. And then we have John Butler, who I actually used to work with at PCGS. So we kind of moved over in a way together. But John Butler has also worked for many, many years. He's worked for David Lawrence for Coins. He worked at PCGS, I believe, for 18 years. So he has plenty of experience. But yeah, so we have an awesome team of graders that ultimately just care a lot about the industry and the people in it, which is really awesome.
Basically what you're saying, CAC stole all the best graders from other services and now they work for you.
I can neither confirm nor deny this information.
Now, let me ask you, you did tell us about the graders, and I have a clue from what you just got through given their background. Who is your variety specialist that you have in your group of people?
So our variety specialist is Chris Simpson. He is from California, Southern California, I believe. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know too much about Chris. Variety guys get really into one certain thing, and he likes his books and studying hard, but I really haven't talked too much about with him. But he's a very nice person.
All of my
and also I agree, Brad, stop talking. Stop.
Yes, that would be me. So you speak a lot about customer service. If we call CAC, how long of a hold time will it be if we have a question and we need to speak to somebody?
Ideally, no hold time whatsoever.
Wow.
If
Okay.
you call right now, someone would answer the phone right now. There are only three of us, so sometimes we'll miss a call, but we call back within usually 20 to 30 minutes.
Very nice.
That's typically the longest, but there's always somebody here and always someone who's more than happy to answer a question. So we're very proud of that, and that's the number one thing that we try to do. How did I start collecting coins? I was somewhat born into this industry. My dad has worked at PCGS. He just hit 35 years.
Oh, wow.
So I've had the honor of kind of growing up around it. I wouldn't say he's a numismatist or anything like that. He worked more on the production side of things. But I learned so much from him, and I actually kept my maiden name just because I'm so proud to keep on his name in this industry. He started at PCGS when they first started, and it's been such an honor kind of being brought into a new grading service and getting to do even close to similar work that he did 35 years ago is absolutely incredible. So as far as collecting, I'm a book collector. I don't collect too many coins. I have a few cool ones, but I'm also a giant nerd, so I have a lot of Star Wars coins. But
I've never seen Star Wars. Just never.
That's okay. It's not for everybody.
Take your lightsaber, Allie, and just get rid of Nick.
No. The lightsaber and the battery's dead anyway. So
Is that the same thing as a lifesaver?
A lightsaber, yes. I have one in my office. Super nerd. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got into coin collecting somewhat. It's kind of been part of my entire life. But yeah, as far as customer service, like I said, we try to get back and we want to just make sure that your experience with us is positive. And if customer service, you may not always like the grades of your coins that you get back, but I can promise you that your customer service will be spot on every time.
Who needs kids when they have Brad in their life?
Do you have kids? I do not have kids. I have two dogs.
Those are kids.
Yeah, so I have two dogs, which is great. That's about all I can keep alive, so I'm okay with it. Most of my time is spent
behind you. You have plants behind you. They're doing very well keeping alive.
Right. I always say that if they weren't less than a couple feet away from me, I would forget they were there. So that's
okay.
That's the only reason why those are doing well at this point.
Well, you put up with Brad, so I mean, kudos to that.
She hasn't killed her husband yet either.
She hasn't killed you either. I'm surprised.
I'm about to.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so freaking awesome talking about the quick responses from our very own Dominique. She's awesome. She was the young lady in the red shirt that was in here just a few minutes ago.
Very nice.
Yeah, she's awesome. And yeah, I really, both her and Janae are just my little rock stars. Do you give a discount if a person sends coins with multiples of some varieties? At this time, no. So in order to start getting like the bulk discounts, you would have to be, it's kind of the same. It's a pretty industry standard of minimum of 100 coins, no more than 5 denominations. That's when you really get the price breaks. But CAC did come out with our Morgan and Peace tier, which is for Morgan and Peace dollars valued up to $500, and it's only $15 per coin. So that was kind of our bridge between bulk and the regular line to try and encourage people that have just a lot of something, kind of a cheaper way of doing it, just because bulk can be kind of difficult to meet the standards.
We'll talk also about your very advantageous rates on moderns.
Yeah. Modern, we also have, which I would have to pull up our actual pricing. I know, I'm terrible. I know that for modern standard, it's $17 a coin. That's valued up to $3,000. So lots of modern. We do a modern express and modern walkthrough. Not too many coins, I would say, that are modern would meet that modern walkthrough, but I think we all know of a couple that could hit that up to 125,000, and that grading fee is $100. But yeah, all of our grading fees are thought of with the collector in mind, ultimately, all the time.
Highly competitive. Yes.
Joe, JB, you guys got some questions? Feel free to jump in there. Come on.
I got a question about, so back to the details.
Yes.
So you send something and you can just, if you think it's going to come back details anyway, you can have it, it'll be holdered. If you,
Yes. So
okay.
One thing to keep in mind, we do not holder all details codes that some other companies do. So we have listed on our website the details codes that we do not holder. Let me see if I can pull that up. I know I should know these all by heart.
Well, Joe, just for one, they'll holder details cleaned coins,
Yep,
but not polished coins.
okay.
As an example, they will
So,
hold
like,
scratched coins,
environmental-
but not graffiti coins.
Makes sense.
So we'll do, environmental damage, questionable surfaces, brush, excessive hairlines, white, stained, wheel marks. Some of those we can do. The ones that we do not holder would be like counterfeits, altered mint mark, added mint mark, removed mint mark, anything that's been re-engraved, polished, mount removed, soldered, bezel removed, plugged, all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it really kind of goes back to that definition of a coin being kind of altered in any way.
But each of those explanations is on the flip, on the sticker on the flip, though, when you get it back, correct?
If we do not holder it, correct. Yes.
So you still get the information.
It may, well, not always. It may be more of like a blanket statement. So it could be like altered surfaces, which would, kind of cover a variety of different things. It just kind of depends. Any chance I'm taking so we can buy all the stock in CAC? I can't speak to that. I have no idea. I know that is a question that has been asked before, but at this time, I am not too sure. Do we hold our shipwreck coins? Yes, we do. I believe we will, if it already is attributed to a shipwreck, we'll do those. Otherwise, might be a little bit tricky, but you can always send, and I guess I should have mentioned this earlier, any questions on a coin that you have that you're wondering about, if we can grade it or if we don't grade it, just send a picture to help at CAC Grading. We may not know the answer right away, but we're more than happy to send that over to someone who will be able to give you a straight answer on if it's something we'll grade or not. I know we have done shipwreck coins. I know we've done some SS Central America, and some of the other ones I can't remember right off the top of my head. But we have done them, but only if they are already attributed.
I just signed up for the newsletter. So if everybody in the chat wants to do so as well, they can, if we can.
Yeah, it's right on our website, which is
on the
really,
website.
really cool.
Yep. So I just signed up.
Yeah, our marketing department has worked really hard on our coins of the week. So every week you'll get an email with some of the really cool coins that we had come through this week and kind of what their grade was with the high res imaging, which is also really fun. But the one thing that people say they like about our emails is that they don't get too many. So
that's perfect then.
Yeah, it should be the perfect amount of emails. And we also mentioned when we're going to be at a show coming up or any other events coming up and specials as well.
Talk a little bit about your photography service.
Yeah, so really quick, we do not accept tokens or medals at this time. It's one of those things that we are looking to do in the future, but it's not something we do right now. Our photography, we are incredibly proud of our photography department. It is run by Justin Lee, who does beautiful high-res images. I have one that you can see up on my wall right here of a beautiful proof set that came through. He did a gorgeous poster for me, and he photographs all my coins, which is really awesome. His team, he has a team with him. He does the actual photography, and then he has teams that go through the images, make sure that there's no debris or anything that's obscuring the view. I can tell you that anyone in the imaging department would say we're all about getting the coin to looking like it does in hand. We don't do glamour shots. We don't like hyper exposing things or, editing in any negative way. We want the coin from the picture online to be what matches, especially with how popular online sales are now, especially compared to even 10, 20 years ago. I mean, most coin sales are done online. And so it's very important that when someone sees our coins, it's the most, goodness.
I agree. I think you've done a great job with that. The coins that I've gotten back that you've done photography on are spot on. It looks just like in hand. So I'm extremely happy with the results there. It's amazing.
Now, can we all have our names on the holder like Brad does, or is that just a special service for Brad?
So we're doing that because he has it's like a complete series.
Mm-hmm.
So we're more than happy, which is exactly what Brad did. I mean, you never know the answer till you ask. When someone has like a complete series, and because Brad was committing to doing, how many is it, Brad? Is it like 400?
By the time we get done, I'll probably submit close to 600 pieces to you.
So it's a big collection.
That's a large number, yes.
Yeah. So the reason why we did that pedigree was because he was submitting kind of the whole series, and he's working towards getting that complete series all in CAC graded, and that's why his name is on
So
there.
was that offered, or was that something Brad just said, hey, can you do this for me?
Brad started bugging me about it, and then I started bugging other people about it.
That's what I figured. Thank you for.
It was a negotiated. No, it was a negotiated deal, Nick. But it's a deal that, as Ali said, any collector who has a significant collection can negotiate the same deal. It's not just me. I have a friend who is a big half-dime collector, has one of the finest half-dime collections ever put together, and he's just decided to cross it into CAC holders, and he's getting the same pedigree information on his holders.
Hopefully not. Hopefully it doesn't say Brad on it.
Thank you. I hope it doesn't say Brad too.
That's okay. My first group didn't say Brad on it either.
Okay, you didn't have to bring that up. And this really, we're in public, dude.
Oh, sorry,
Brad. Oh my gosh.
But let me tell you what customer service did.
They changed them right up, I'm sure.
Fixed it overnight.
It's true. It's true. We were here until almost 7.
It only cost me a few pizzas.
And you got some really beautiful printed out images of your coins.
Yes. Well, yes. Robert, what do you think about my photo on the wall at work now?
And I did see it, and yes, it's very nice. I mean, you guys did a great job on that.
Yeah, that was a fun project.
I was going to say, I don't have as many coins as Brad does, but I've got several dozen discovery coins that maybe I'll have to talk with CAC about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if we don't know the answer, we're more than happy to ask someone who will. I don't know if I missed a question. What kind of equipment for close-up photos? I don't know that information. I couldn't tell you. It's a whole setup. They have like a whole rig. Everything is done. It's way far beyond my pay grade of understanding what's going on with that. But it is impressive. It is professional photo equipment, and they have a whole thing going on with it. I couldn't tell you. How is our service different from PCGS and NGC, and in what way? Because I always thought you certified other grading services. That's a great question. That's one that we actually get quite often. Historically, CAC is known as the green bean. So when you buy a coin from PCGS or NGC and it has a little green sticker on it, That means that it went through CAC, subsequently went through John Albanese, and John Albanese agrees with the grade that is on the holder and says that it is top tier for that grade. Now, back in 2023, so just over a year ago, CAC branched out to become a full-fledged grading service. So instead of you needing to send your coins to NGC or PCGS and then to CAC to get verified, you just send it to CAC and we get it right, and you get the coin in with those grading standards. So instead of sending 20, maybe 6 out of the 20 sticker, when you send them to CAC, we only holder the coins that meet our standards. So yeah, so you can see this is one of those special mid sets. Okay, S on cheek, FS 401. So this is really pretty, actually. So, but it has that CAC on there, which is kind of our way of saying we align with our brand or our kind of parent company, the original company. We align with them, and that is us putting that. It's not actually a sticker on there. It's actually kind of a reflective stamp almost, but it does certify that it also went through that. I do have one of our photographers willing to come over to answer some questions if you guys would be interested in that.
That would be fine. But by the way, Allie, just real quick, that's 5 on the cheek, not an S.
5 on the cheek. Someone said S on the cheek not too long ago. They poisoned my brain. Thank you.
That would probably be Brad, but who knows?
How'd you guess?
Uh-oh. Okay, now I took and let me change this over.
So I'm going to have one of our photographers come in, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer any questions. So this is Taylor.
Hi, everyone.
I'm trying to find it. He was asking what kind of equipment for close-up photos. It's not
Exactly. The keywords there are not proprietary. We do have some macro lenses, and there are some tricks of the trade that we can't really disclose. I will say this, Justin Lee is an unbelievable photographer. I've been in the photography industry for the past 23 years, and Justin has taught me things that I never would have even considered with his lighting style. It's surreal, the images that he can get. It's just second to none, in my opinion.
Do you use close-up filters?
Do we use close-up filters? We do not. I will. What can I tell them? That's not.
That's always the secret. It's not proprietary.
Yeah. So our lighting is proprietary. We do have some macro lenses. We do have some special techniques. Yeah, I can't delve any further into that.
I like how you offered to come over here to tell us all of the juicy tips on photography.
I know. I can tell you this: it's not flash photography. Everything is shot raw. That to me makes a big difference. Shooting through plastic is just, you're not going to get the same images. Not even close. You're always going to get that glare. You're always going to get that haze. And part of the motto in there is as little Photoshop as possible. We, as Ali said earlier, we want it to look as close to as in hand as possible. So I'm looking at your questions now too.
How much time is expended on photographing a coin?
To be honest with you, they're really, we're pretty efficient with it. It depends on the difficulty of the coin. So if you've got a toned coin in there, I'm sure any of you collectors out there with a toned coin have sat there turning it 80 million different ways, trying to catch the light just right, without any glare. It really just depends on the coin and how long it takes. Typically, we do quite a bit in a single day.
Do you group your photography together, i.e. silver coins with silver, copper with copper, gold with gold when you're doing your photography?
We don't. At this point, we do it as it comes in. It's first come, first serve according to what the ops has prepared for us. They have their own system in which they run it efficiently. We come in, it comes in, we photograph it, we get the job done.
Okay, interesting. I did a lot of photography for micro photography for varieties because I did a lot of stuff on eBay early back in the day. I still do some photography. I do a lot of stuff for the Cherry Pickers Guide as far as their micro photography. So I was just wondering, and I like to try and keep my coppers coming in so that the settings are not changed too much. Silver, same way, things of that nature.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. That is an ideal situation because nobody wants to keep switching the lighting style, switching it up. You know, you've got red brown coming in, and now all of a sudden you've got a toned Morgan right after that. And yeah, we get that too. The ops generally, while it's not divvied up into, you know, copper, silver, and things like that, they will try to bunch up, you know, here's a set of Morgans, here's a set of, you know, 3 cent silver, here's all copper. I mean, they'll sometimes, it depends on the submitter as well, because if somebody sends in a mixed batch, we get a mixed batch, that's what we're photographing.
Yeah, so I would think it would be very, it would take, and the photograph wouldn't come out, let's say, true life looking if you went from a toned coin to, let's say, an all white Morgan. Putting those two together, I would think that you would have to take and adjust your settings. And I don't want to get real complicated on all the different settings that you have that you can adjust. So,
oh no, it's quite all right. Actually, I take great pride in saying this, in that the lighting setup is adjusted for every single coin.
How many
okay, I like David's question. How many megapixels does your typical camera have? I was about to ask if you use pixels or if you still use the old 35 millimeter.
So I'll say this, we use mirrorless. I can tell you that much. Gosh, I want to say, I believe it's around what the old medium digital format cameras used to be back in the day. I think it's like 42 on average, I believe is the raw image. We shoot in RAW. Everything's imported. We have dedicated editors that then they get the coins and the flaps, compare under the same lighting that we photograph them under. Again, the effort is to make sure that it looks exactly as it does in hand. And I saw a comment on there earlier. Oh, Alec, can you scroll up? On there, I think it was Blue Moon B.
I don't think so.
There it is. Blue Moon B nailed it. I'm a photographer, and it doesn't matter how you get the shot, just get it. Yes, that is very accurate.
What kind of magic does he use to take photos of brown coppers?
Again, there's a lot of proprietary stuff, but I can say there are special diffusion devices that are utilized. So it's not always direct light. It takes time to develop a negative and a pick. I know, but there's nothing, and now I'm not hating on digital photography at all because that's our bread and butter, but I do agree with what Blue Moon B is saying, that there's nothing quite like film photography. That's what I was originally taught on.
Oh, I love it as opposed to digital myself.
Yeah.
I used to take and get the old black and white before they, I mean, it's difficult as heck to get it now, but the old black and white and just use directional. But I was doing a lot of my black and white was for strictly silver coins.
Yeah, I can say, I mean, man, you just took me back. Did shoot some T-Max film developing on Ilford in the darkroom. That was the good stuff, man.
Well, let's see here. Wisdom Coach says PCGS has a link to check the serial numbers to verify if it's legit. What about CAC? How to check if the coin serial number is it legit? Is there a lot of fake slabs nowadays?
Yeah. So on our website, which is
You guys have at it.
okay.
Thank
Thank you, Taylor.
Coach.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
On our website, which is cacgrading.com, at the top right, there's a little thing that says resources, and the first option on there is coin lookup. You can look up both stickered coins and CAC graded coins. So you can look up both of those on there.
Do you have is there an app as well that you can use to scan?
Not yet. We're working
Okay.
on it. Yeah, it's another one of those things where we kind of have to walk before we can run. So
Sure.
I know
Yep.
we want an app, but it's one of those things that it might take a little bit of time. But our website is designed to be very mobile friendly. I do know that. When we were designing the website, we wanted to make sure, because most people use their phones and iPads these days for a lot of things, that it was very friendly with that. I know that Freaking Awesome asked a question. When one of your new graders encapsulated a 1916 D-split planchet buffalo nickel that was in 2 pieces, you have the same coin, but it can't be encapsulated. Why would that be? I do remember this. When I reached out to our error specialist, so even though they're the same type of coin, so they're both 1916Ds and they both have the same basic planchet split, there's a difference between a natural split and something that has been split apart manually. I don't know how people can tell, but from the images sent, yeah, I'm sure you would be able to tell if something occurred naturally versus unnaturally. I don't know how all of that works, but I do know that we did reach out to our error specialist, and after reviewing the photos, he did let us know that he would not be able to verify that comfortably and encapsulate it. So I wanted to make sure I got that one. I know that was a few minutes ago, but I wanted to make sure we caught that one.
Yeah, I do. The way to easily tell, for the most part, is when one has been taken apart. The lamination that separates the two, or the planchets, is going to take and show the fault. Usually it's a bad mix of the metal, and it's going to be dirty. It's going to look dirty. You're going to see that. And sometimes it don't go all the way through, and there's just a little bit holding on, and people will pry it apart. When they do, the metal is extremely shiny, bright, and so that's how you can tell the difference. As far as if somebody coaches it along, that's usually the giveaway right there.
Yeah, which is awesome information. I just learned something new, so I can go now. No. Do you ever get any fake coins? We do get counterfeits. That's unfortunately just kind of part of the business. In the years that I've worked for grading services, I can tell you countless times people that have brought coins, and it's always a big bummer, and it always makes me feel really bad. But yes, we do get counterfeits. I would say the most common counterfeit that I see would be a 1943 copper penny. I get at least per show 1 or 2 of those. It always really bums me out, because a lot of times it's an older person that's looking to set their grandkids up or something like that. It always really bums me out, and it's always really sad. But 1943, so if no one takes anything from this, but just be really careful when someone's trying to offer you a 1943 copper cent.
Yep. I'll show one. I like to do the hands-on and show whenever we're discussing
That's
something.
awesome. Yeah.
So, whoops. There you go. How's that look?
It looks like the texture's all wrong, Robert. Come on.
Well, come on. What did you expect? It's a cheap from Coins Plus Florence copy. What can I say?
Yes. Yeah, it's one of those that unfortunately, for some reason, people who are willing to sell coins to unsuspecting people, it's one of the number one things that people sell. So that, and I know a couple other ones that are a little bit more popular with counterfeiters. But yes.
I do have one question. You said you don't do counterfeits. Does that include classic counterfeits like the Henning nickel? And Brad, I know there's a few of them in the bus series that are classic counterfeits. They don't CAC won't slab any of those.
Brad, are you going to answer? Or?
I'm sorry, I was reading something on the side here. Come again, Robert. I zoned out.
My question was: will CAC take and slab plastic counterfeits?
No, I don't think so. You don't do Henning nickels and like contemporary counterfeit coins that are accepted in the marketplace as collectibles. The CAC will not put those in holders.
Correct. Yeah. At this time, we don't put any type of counterfeit in a holder, even at this point, if it's like you said, a market acceptable one for what it is. At this point, we do not. I have a 1923 peace dollar with lamination peel. The peel was found in the bag. Would CAC place them in the same holder together? I'm more than happy to write down the question and to let you know. Actually, what I would recommend is if you want to send that question into our help@cacgrading.com email. I want to say that would be a no, because our gaskets are made for each individual coin type so that it holds it as snugly as possible without damaging the coin. So we can't put anything else in the holder that could possibly change that. And we also don't have, at this point, gaskets that could fit unique shapes like lamination and stuff like that. So I would say no. I'm more than happy to double check because I never mind asking a question, but got to tell me.
Frank has a really important question there, Allie.
Does CAC offer restoration services? Not at this time. We do not. That is something that possibly in the future we could be prepared to do, but at this point in time, no, we do not. Does CAC grading team follow any YouTube coin channels? The only person I could really see using YouTube and being on social media like that would be Chris Simpson, our variety specialist. And I don't know what YouTube channels he follows. I'm quite frankly kind of scared to ask, but I mean, maybe. I don't know.
There was a typo.
Does CAC still offer the coin stickering service? Yes. So we have our stickering office, which is up in New Jersey. That has been operating the same way ever since 2007. So you can send coins up there to be stickered. The only thing is that stickering is only available to people who are currently dealers or were original CAC members.
Okay.
So it's not a service that we offer to anyone now. You have to do it through a dealer for the most part, or if you're an original member. But yeah.
Alexandria at 401 asked, they're from the UK, and do you accept UK coins to slab? And we've talked about not CAC does not do foreign coins yet. So
that's correct. So we wouldn't accept UK coins if you wanted to send in US coins. If you so happen to collect US coins, the cost to you would just depend on the type of coin, the declared value, all of that. All of that is also going to influence how much your shipping is. I know shipping internationally can be a little bit pricey, so I wouldn't be able to answer that off the top of my head. But this is one of those questions where if you send it to our help@cacgrading.com email, I'm more than happy to check in with our shipping department if that's something you're interested in. This chat moves so fast, my goodness. Does that show as well? I would like at least one to see it in hand. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, freaking awesome. If there's ever a time where you're at a show and one of our graders will be there, they'd be more than happy to take a look at it, or there might be an error specialist out on the floor. yeah, we're more than happy to do that. Like I said, we want to work with collectors as much as possible to be accessible. It just kind of depends on the coin and all of that.
And somebody asked about multiple coin holders.
We do not at this time. We are working on a couple things right now in the background, kind of some to be announced things. I know that's something that we are looking towards. But like I said, coming up with a new slab holder is a lot more work than I thought it would be. When I came from PCGS, I was like, it's a piece of plastic that just kind of put together. I had no idea what goes into it, and yeah, it's a lot. So that is something that we're looking into. I wish it was as easy as just kind of clicking 2 slabs together and calling it a day, but unfortunately, it's a lot more complicated than that.
But Allie, what is that on the left-hand side of his question?
That's an AT-AT.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you knew.
Okay.
What is an AT?
So that is from Star Wars. It is one of the Empire's land ships. It's very cool. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I have heard from a grapevine that graders are pressured not to give a top pop grade because of the value posed on the coins. Any thoughts on this? I think that's one of those things that usually is a rumor that goes around, just like I've heard some oh goodness, Brad, gonna get us all seasick over here. It's usually one of those rumors. I can't speak to that too much. I've been hearing about this since I worked at PCGS, that graders will purposefully not give a top coin. I don't think that's true, because I've seen some truly incredible coins come back that are top pop. It doesn't happen super often, but again, if it's top pop, it's a rarity. It's rare for a reason. So it's not something that you're going to see often, and it's going to be once in a blue moon that happens. So if it feels like it doesn't happen that often, it's probably because it doesn't. That's just kind of my experience.
Let me ask, coming in the future, are you going to take in, is CAC going to have a website similar to PCGS where they have their prices, like you have the book now? Are you going to transfer that over to where people can look it up online?
Yeah, so we do have that available on our website already. If you go under resources, you can go to the pop/price guide. It's kind of built in with kind of the screen. It's powered by Graysheet, like I said, but we do update that pop report, so it shows accurate pricing. I'd like to thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. No, I'm truly honored. I love the company that I work for, and anytime I get to talk to people that are passionate about the hobby that I've worked in for so long, it's always a good opportunity for me. And making Brad is just a bonus.
A bonus that you would rather not have.
Yeah, it's like a bonus, but like the one where they give you a fruit cake for Christmas instead of like a actual bonus.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking at your website right now, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised with the ease of use of it. So if anybody wants to go check this out, it's really easy to use and self-explanatory. But yes, I'm very impressed with the website.
I can tell you, I did not know how much work went into so many little things. Everything from the homepage to our registry to even when you create an account and you go into like your portal, all of that has been so carefully created by myself, Brian, our development team. Everyone has had a hand in it.
I actually like the looks of this better than some of the other grading services. It's easier to use than a couple of the others. So I'm very impressed with the website.
I do appreciate that. I'll make sure to pass that on to some of the people that I know have worked so hard on it.
Yes,
we put a lot of thought into it. We want it to be simple. We're working on expanding. At any given time, we have probably 10 to 20 different projects and additions that we're working on. They just take time. So
Right.
we're excited to add more. We're excited to kind of expand it as time goes on. I know we have a couple things in development that I'm personally super excited about.
Yep.
But yeah, I do appreciate that. Let's see. What percent of gold stickers versus green? So that's actually, if you go onto our price report, which I can show you, or I can tell you right now. So let's say we go to, I'm just going to pick Mercury dimes because why not? So you can see on our, so if you go on our website, you go to resources and then pop/price report, and you look up any coin. Obviously, it can't be a modern coin, but let's say for a 1937 PR Mercury dime, you're looking at, okay, well, that's a really bad example. Let's do 1936 PR. You can look at every single grade and see how many have been stickered, how many stickered gold, and how many have been graded on every single coin. So like on this one, I can see, let me try to find a good example here. So like on this one, I can see a 1937 at 66, 5 have been stickered gold versus 184 have been stickered with green. Oh, awesome. See, this is why I need people, because I'm terrible with technology. So you'll see the ratios on there, and it'll show you like stickering versus grading, and then it'll also show you the gold as well as the price report. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. I know a lot of people are used to other services that have different modes of looking up this information, but this is something we're ever working on. And yeah, so you can find all of that on there. I will say the number one question I get from people is stuff regarding plus grades. You're not going to see anything populated for plus grades under the stickering. We don't, CAC historically has never recognized the plus. So when you go on there, you're never going to see for 64 plus, let's say, or 65, you're never going to see a number there. We will update that in the future, but as for right now, it's going to show it 0. So that's something we're working on, but for right now, that's kind of where we're at. I feel like I'm behind. I'm just going to wait for someone to put something up. Okay. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, coin shows are a great resource. I can't even tell you how many people that I've helped at coin shows. I usually don't tell them to go talk to Brad because Brad's not a very approachable person. But I do always recommend that you talk to multiple dealers, get multiple opinions, and ultimately just feel confident in what you're doing. So if you're submitting for the first time, don't submit until you feel comfortable and confident. Any grading service that you submit with should make you feel that way and should put your mind at ease when you're submitting things that, you know, are important to you and that are precious to you.
So, Allie, what's the next coin show you're going to have representatives at that'll talk to collectors and accept submissions?
So we will be at the Tampa show, the Great American Coin and Collectibles show, coming up here in 2 weeks. I personally won't be there, but our team, they will be there, and I'm very excited. I wish I could be there. And then we also have Baltimore coming up in November.
Do you have that your schedule for what shows you're going to be attending for CAC, where people can go to it? And
yes, absolutely. So that's going to be under the same tab on our website under resources. At the very bottom there, it says events. I'm working on updating for 2025 right now. It only shows 2 shows on there right now, but I will be updating for 2025 here soon.
okay, there, I'll post it for you.
Yes.
Yeah, September 11th, Great American Coin and Collectible Show in Tampa, and the Whitman Winter Expo, November of 2024 in Baltimore. Very good.
The cost of grading, it greatly depends. it depends on what you're submitting, what your declared value is, what the type of coin is. Typically, I would say on average, if we're talking including membership, grading fees, and shipping, I would say you're looking at probably minimum for everything, maybe 150.
But that goes down because the membership is a one-time cost, right?
Well, once a year, yes.
Yes. So, but the cost of grading a coin is always based on the value of the coin and how fast you want it back.
Correct.
So
we try to go by value. So our pricing starts at $15 for our economy Morgan and Peace tier. That's for value. That's for coins valued up to $500, and our grading fees. Probably the average one would be standard, which is up to a coin value of $3,000, and it's $35 per submission.
So I have found that sending things through my company, which Robert does for many of our customers here, that $40 to $45 when they're bundled with other people's submissions seems to be a pretty good average for what we send to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to miss this one. Do you put a name of the person as Discovery Coin? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we've necessarily had a Discovery Coin yet that I know of. I would have to ask that question. That's one of those questions where I encourage you to reach out, because I'm not going to remember every single one of these questions. But I'm more than happy to find an answer. But yeah, I'm not entirely too sure about that. I'd have to look. I know Discovery Coins are kind of a topic that it's kind of hard to answer questions about. Has anyone... has anyone ever given them credit? Like in terms of other grading services?
No, that was in relationship to the Discovery Coin.
Just kidding.
So,
sorry.
Somebody did ask earlier, Allie, about generally where are you, and do you take people to walk in and drop off and pick up?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are located in Virginia Beach, Virginia. We do take walk-ins. However, I will say we do screen before we have people walking in. We are a closed facility, so we greatly don't encourage you to just kind of look up CAC and show up on our doorstep. Unfortunately, we will most of the time have to meet you outside. We've had that happen a few times to where we're more than happy to give you some information about pricing and everything, but unfortunately we can't necessarily let you into the building. We do have some local dealers that do come and drop off and pick up. And once you have been, like, I would say pre-screened, or we have a copy of your license and you're a submitter with us and we have your information, all you have to do is call first. We've had people drive from all over. The most important thing is just to call us first. We have to be able to prepare for you and make sure that we have the staff here and the security here to have someone in the building. So, but yes,
So,
that is something that we do.
Just as an example, when I showed up to pick up my coins, they had security walking closely behind me with a gun to the back of my head to make sure that
I don't blame them there.
I didn't belong.
You are a shady looking guy.
I know. I would probably do the same.
Somebody asked, Bill 457 asked about pattern coins. Allie, do you do those?
I'm trying to separate right now because I haven't heard pattern coin in a hot minute. I'm trying to separate PCGS from CAC.
So those would be JUD numbers?
I want to say we do. I think we've done pattern. Yeah, we've done some pattern gold.
I think that it'll be on their website as to what they cover, but I believe they do patterns also. Can you talk a little bit about? His name just went out of my head. Hansen crossing his coins to CAC. Can you talk a little bit about that? He might be the most famous collector of our generation.
Other than me, right?
Yeah, well, of course.
Also, our generation, Brett.
My generation, not yours.
Woof. Anyway, yeah, it's been super exciting getting to see some of Dell's coins. Absolutely incredible. We have displays at some shows that we've been able to have out, and everyone that's come by is absolutely amazed by it. Truly, it's been an incredible opportunity to watch some of them come through the building. I think it's one of those things where I kind of have to take a step back sometimes and remember, like, how actually, like, crazy does that, you know, at any point in time, like, that we have his coins and that we're putting them into our holders. Because it's one of those things, when you do it every day, you start to kind of forget what you're dealing with, but then, like, when you take a step back and really think about it, it's truly incredible. So we've been very fortunate. This is actually my second time seeing a lot of these coins, so it's been really, really awesome. We're super excited for him to be joining our registry soon. And yeah, if you're at his show, you know, call us beforehand to make sure that we'll have a display, but we're trying to bring them to as many shows, because I think it's important for collectors and people just to see them. I mean, just being able to see some of those coins that you wouldn't normally be able to see. I know I would never be able to see for the most part. So it's pretty awesome getting to see them, like, actually in a display case. How do you get a CAC shirt? I'm working on it. We're currently working on some new things to our website, possibly including a store. It's something that we're looking into. The sweatshirt that I wear most of the time at shows, I think I was wearing it the last time I came on here, is just a plain green or plain sweatshirt with the CAC logo on it. Everyone seems to really love that one. My mom made it for me, so. But yeah, it is in the works. We don't give out shirts quite yet. The only people that have shirts would be our employees and our founders. But that is something that we're working on, creating a different type of polo or t-shirt for people to be able to purchase.
Okay, just a reminder to everybody, you have about 7 more minutes with Allie before she has to run. So get in your last minute questions. And is there anything else that, is there anything else, Allie, that you would like to say to us as collectors?
Just that I truly appreciate everything that you guys do. I think this was an awesome opportunity. Again, here at CAC, we're passionate about the collector, and that's always what we come back to. We hope that it reflects in our website, in any of your interactions with our staff. We want people to feel and know how much we care about the industry and how much we've kind of put into every single thing that we do to make it collector friendly and to really for the betterment of the hobby.
Oh boy, I'll tell you what, I've been on that one too.
Oh, poor Pop Pop. He's not
I second that one. And I'm certain Nick will vote that one too.
No, but this has been super fun. If you guys have any questions at all, please reach out to us. If we don't answer the phone right away, it's probably because all 3 of us are on the phones, but you'll get a call back. If you email in, we're more than happy to answer any questions you have. But yeah, again, really can't say how much I appreciate this opportunity. And yeah, that's pretty much what I got. I just wanted to say thank you, and yeah.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Well, I'm sure we can have Allie back on again sometime in the future, especially as you roll out something new. Let me know,
Yeah,
and we'll
absolutely.
schedule you and have you able to come in and enlighten us a bit more.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
Pop always likes that.
Like I said, we want to be accessible. We want to make it clear that we're here to kind of open the curtain on grading services and everything else, and kind of take some of the mystery out of it, and still offer the best products, but still make it to where it's accessible and people can ask questions. And you know, you have a face to the name, so when you email in, and you also got to meet some of our other awesome people. So yeah,
So let's see. Somebody said, there we go.
have her back.
Well, Frank, one of these
Remember,
days.
I don't grade the coins. I just answer the phone. I always tell people whenever they come up to a show and ask me if I'm a grader, I always say, you don't want me grading your coins because my scale is shiny or not shiny. So you really don't want me to grade your coins. It's probably not going to go over well. But yes,
we'll have another show, Frank, that discusses outcomes from CAC as I get a few more back, and we'll go from there.
yeah.
So yeah, Frank says customer service is the front line in the battle. That is
I don't have photographs like Brad, but I
Robert has a group. I mean, don't those look gorgeous?
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Now, by the way, Allie, this is my Discovery coin. And the reason my wife was asking about putting a name on a Discovery, she is now an official Discovery person herself, only on foreign coins.
Oh, wow.
And
congratulations.
Yes, I'm very proud of her. She took and it's really neat. And I can't wait for her to get her coin back. But it'll show that she discovered it as well. So I think that's why she was asking about that, as far as if you put names of the discoverer on your holders.
Okay, well that's awesome. I'm definitely more than happy to ask the question. I don't think it's come up quite yet. We're still relatively new, but yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. I'll show you guys one coin that I have that I'm really proud of before I boogie out of here.
Okay, love to see it.
So I have 2 coins here that I'm incredibly proud of. One is my Regency holder. This was given to me by PCGS when I was born. It has my name and birth date on it. So I'm incredibly proud of this one. And then one that I'm also incredibly proud of that I was able to show my dad was, as a founder, I got to have my name and signature put onto a CAC holder, and which was a really cool moment for me because, again, kind of following in the footsteps. So that's another item that I'm incredibly proud of and super excited about. So I don't collect a lot of coins, but I have a couple ones that I really do love.
Before you leave, Sierra Hippie asked a question about crossover fees and wanted to know if they're the same as the grading fees. Can you talk just really quickly about your crossover service?
Yeah, so we actually have a special going on right now. And if you send in a crossover and it does not cross, you are only charged $10. So that's a pretty good deal right now for everything other than rarity. Rarity is the only one that does not apply to. But yeah, it's a win-win situation. So if you send your coin in and it crosses, you now are the proud owner of a PAC-G coin. And if it doesn't, it's only $10.
And if it does cross, what's the charge?
The charge would be whatever you submitted it under. So if you submitted it under standard or economy, it would be between $20 and $35.
So it's based, again, just like grading on value and time.
Yes, correct. But yes, historically it is the same price. But yeah, right now we do have that special going on, which is really exciting. Are CAC holders the same as PCGS? No, they are not. They are slightly different. They have a different shape to them. So they do not fit in any plastic boxes that are pretty much on the market right now. But we are working on getting a plastic box, and it will fit all holders, which will be super exciting.
Well, Allie, as always, I know how great you are, but now the whole panel and all of our listeners know how great you are. I want to personally thank you for taking time out of what I know is a very busy day for you to talk to us. We will definitely invite you back again in the future. And just thanks, kiddo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions come up, first thing about CAC is that we're accessible. So please reach out. We're more than happy to answer any questions you guys may have. But yeah, I look forward to coming back at some point, and hopefully have some exciting new announcements to make.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you again. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Email Allie that I took. Well, never mind. She had to leave. That's okay. I will take and I'll reach out to her later. But there you go. That was
All right.
fun.
Guys, I apologize, but I do have to run also right now. So thank you everyone for your kind comments today that made me cry. And I will catch up with everybody next Thursday then.
All right.
Robert?
Thanks for setting that up, Brad.
Thanks, guys. Nick, Joe, everybody at home, thank you very much. I hope you appreciated what was offered today. That is an opportunity that that very, very few people get to have an hour and a half of someone's time like that to pick their brain and get the answers to your questions. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and thank you all. See you next week. Bye.
See you, Brad. Be safe.
See you, Brad.
And then there were 3.
There you go, dude.
Oh, thank you, Deputy, by the way, for the $5 super chat. We appreciate it. So, what did you think about that, Joe or Nick? Take your pick.
Very informative young lady. That was nice. She had an answer for just about everything. That's
Very interesting.
yeah,
I like the emphasis on customer service.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very informative. I enjoyed it too, and I'll tell you what, the best part is she was able to answer all my questions. The one thing I really never got a full answer to was the percent of gold stickers. I need to try and look up. I guess it's on their events page, and I'll have to look that up myself. But because I was asked that, I think I seen Matt in there a little bit ago, and we were discussing, the percentage of gold stickers versus green stickers. I said, there's not a whole lot of gold stickers out there. And he said, you can find 2 or 3 at every show. I said, they're probably the same 2 or 3 you're looking at. If somebody bought all 3, that'd be it. They'd be gone. I mean, that's my opinion. Joe, you go to shows up there in the. I mean,
You don't see gold stickers very often at all. I see green stickers a lot, but not the gold.
How about you, Nick? Do you ever? I mean,
I've not seen any gold stickers now at shows.
yeah. I mean, I have seen a few. Like I told Matt, because me and him go to a lot of the same shows, and it's like I've seen them, but it's the same gold sticker every month. Month after month. Let's see here. Let's see here. I think CAC has a nice setup. Yep, I do too.
Yep.
I also thought the turnaround time was very impressive as well, considering the other grading surfaces and their turnaround time.
Sierra Hippie, yeah, in fact, let me see here. I think I can show you a nice comparison because just to give you guys an idea, let's see here. Well, that's the only one I don't have right now. I'm waiting for one, but I still have a side I can show you. Here, well, I'm going to try and separate it so you can get a better idea. Here is, let's see here. Let's do it this way. This is all your holders. This is CAC right here, ANAX right there, NGC, and then PCGS. Let me put the NGC and the CAC together. Here's your CAC and here's your NGC. And like she said, you're not going to get CAC to go into any NGC holder. It's just too thick. Not a lot thicker. Let me see. I'll tell you what. So do we have a NGC holder I can get?
NGC?
Yeah. A box. I'm gonna try and get a box, guys.
You cannot
For
get
the,
any
PCGS.
They won't
Yeah.
fit.
all of these holders in a PCGS box either.
No.
yeah, that's what I was gonna try.
Those plastic holders.
I've tried it. They're too fat to go in there. The other ones they stick up too tall.
Yeah, and then you can't put the cover back on because they're too tall. So
Right.
none
Well,
of
I know NGC is taller than CAC, but yeah, the thickness, I believe you're right. I think it's the thickness what will get it. So
On your back, there's NGC there, gray on your back.
oh, right here.
On that, oh, there you go. You get it?
No, that's not.
No, on the table. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well, I gotta dig either one, guys. But here is the NGC holder, so I can check it that way. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna make it in there. It just, and this is a new. Yeah, see, it goes in. Well, I can get it in, but I gotta force it in. But this is the newer holder too, guys. This is the one where they've got the different size. I don't know if you can see it.
I can see, yeah.
Yeah, but because this one here, I can tell you right now, like, yeah, well, yeah, it will. I can put it in here. Like I said, I've got to force it in.
So
But this is, yeah, this is a newer, this is one of the newer holders. Like I said, I got to force it in, guys, but
is that the NGC holder or is that the PCGS holder?
NGC, it will not fit in NGC or PCGS.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
nothing will fit in. Yeah.
NGC. And ANACs don't have a plastic holder, of course. So, which I really wish they did. Because the ANACs, it'd be cool if they had one. But that's one of the, and that's, you know, like PCGS has a half a dozen different holders. Or I'm sorry, NGC has a bunch of different boxes. And I know that one there is a different size because that one I cannot get PCGS holders into it, believe it or not. Even though that CAC would fit down in it, PCGS won't. And it's something to do with proprietary, I assume.
Yeah, I would imagine they probably don't want to have other holders in their, their cases. I'm sure.
Well, right. And that's what. Yeah, that's. So yeah, I mean, why would you?
No, but even like with PCGS, so with their holders, you could have 5 coins coming back, and they'd still put it in that plastic holder, and then you have all this room. So if you don't have enough coins to fill it up, though, it's wasted space.
Interesting if the cock box will be a versatile slab case.
Mike Pepsi.
That is.
Yeah, Mike Pepsi just took and made a point. He's like, Annex has one. I sold him. He's right. Yeah. That's old school.
Yeah, boxes right now.
Pardon?
Annex has boxes. You just have to know somebody to get one.
Do they have modern ones?
Yeah, the lady that we met out in Ohio, you met, she's supposed to grab me one. I'll show it to you.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I just took, Buttheads, because I just took it. I mean, I've been ordering well over 20 coins. I mean, I've sent them in to get them graded, and I've never got a box back. It's like, really?
No, you don't. Like, apparently, you got to ask and know somebody to get one, but they have them.
Huh.
What?
I thought I saw a couple on eBay at one time for the Annex holders.
Probably.
But maybe it was a long
It might
time.
have been the old ones like Robert was talking about, too.
Yeah. Robert, I sent you a couple pictures of a couple quarters that I found, and I didn't know if you had time to look at that.
I took it. I just noticed them because I checked my spam today. But
okay.
Nick, I'll tell you what. I keep telling people, and I keep forgetting to look at my stupid spam. I took them and I marked them as not spam no more. So now I have to change them over though. And let me put them, because we move them. Let's see here. Show and tell. There we go.
And Joe may also know or not know, but for the main P quarter, I did not see any errors or varieties listed for that quarter. But I found some interesting looking quarters that I sent to Robert. But have you heard of anything, Joe, of errors or varieties listed for the main quarter?
No, not me.
No, me neither. Yeah.
I am going to share this, Nick, and I'm going to let you let us know what we are looking at here. So here we go.
So yes, this is a main quarter for 2003 P. This is the Philadelphia, and you can see some things going on in the N, and then the D, and then along with the T as well, and the between the T and the R. Yeah.
Okay, the die chips.
Yeah.
Is that what that? Okay.
Yeah, those are die chips. Let me see here. Let me try
and I just did like you know how like sometimes it's hard to see, so I just kind of give you different angles on that.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's why I wanted to go through and see.
And then you'll see something right there in the R.
Oh, again, that's the die chip.
Okay.
Yeah, those are, I mean, sadly, those are common. Now let me ask you, let's see here.
And then the other is the same. It's a different quarter, but it's the same type of die chip.
Okay.
But it is a different quarter. And of course the die chips are a little bit different in size.
Right. Yeah. Well, right. Now that's why we talk about a die chip as being an error as opposed to a variety. A variety will stay the same or very similar other than fatigue on the die, whereas an error, like you just seen, the chip will get larger, larger, larger. And that's where the BIE errors come from and the old Lincoln pennies back in the 60s. Somebody mentioned it on one of our podcasts about Frank Spadone, which I tell people I just love it because I've got the entire collection of Spadone books. And a lot of that information is not accurate, as today we understand the hobby a little bit different. People have actually went to the mint and they've gotten to talk to the machinists that were actually working on the machines, on the coin machines, and find out exactly what's going on, what a true double die is, as opposed to, I mean, Frank Spadone's got stuff listed as double dies that were not a true double die. So
I picked up these quarters from my old dealer, and I forgot I had them. So they were directly from the mint, so nobody's looked at these quarters yet, and so I just started finding those things, and I haven't seen anything listed for a main quarter, especially in the P. Now D, yeah, but not the P, not the Philadelphia.
No, I was just looking to see if this one had it, and it does. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's why
I want to take. Yeah, I'll show you, Nick. This here is similar. Sounds like. Let's see here. Let me. This might take a second, guys, so bear with me while I get this focused up. Okay, there's the bear, so that's good. Right here on the claw. See the little chip down there at the bottom?
Yes.
See, that is basically a die chip as well. And the bear claw on that particular quarter, I mean, you can get it to where there's 2 or 3 of them like that, okay? And it's all the same, exact same process as far as it's just the die is going away. That's all it is. So
okay, so it's not worth anything, not too much then.
I mean,
common, like you said.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, there's people that sell them on eBay.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, Yeah, like Hoop said, I mean, I used to keep them too, and until if I get 25 or 50 of them, guys, there, right there's one. They're selling it for $750.
And of course, I found the Alaskan one as well before.
Right.
So and I have found several of them myself. Right.
If you look, you're gonna find one.
Right.
If you get a roll of them, the chances, I'll put it to you this way: if you get a roll of the Alaska, the chances of you not finding one is probably harder to not find one than to find.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Well, darn. I was kind of hoping I would discover something too, since everybody's discovering something.
it's
I'm gonna keep looking though, because I still have a lot more of these main quarters to go through.
There you go.
well, yeah, and you may. You know, Sticks for Fire says I'll still flip the BIEs, but he can't. I mean, the BIE is a die chip, Sticks for Fire, so you're using the same terminology in two different ways, but a BIE is still a die chip. That's the way I look at it. I think BIEs, I mean, in the variations of that, you got the BIE, BII, yada, 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 so on and so forth. But you have them on a lot of modern stuff. I'll tell you what, I tell a lot of people, you know what? And I think that I'll get a lot of people to agree with me on this. In our modern minting process, quality sort of kind of went out the door. I don't know what the heck they're doing at the mint, but if you get a quality coin and a high grade, I'd rather have that almost today, almost on top of anything, because there's so many die chips, die cracks, you name it. I
It's
mean,
funny that you say that, is because on the main quarters too, there wasn't as many minted in the main quarter as the others. And 68 is the highest grade that I could find, and that it's worth a lot of money just because they're not high grades. You're not finding these in high grades at all. So that was another one I'm hoping to find, is just a really great grade in one of those, because then that may be worth more than an error.
I have found, I mean, I believe it is the bicentennial of Lincoln from 2009, that you get that above, I think it's a 66 grade. And holy cow, the number goes crazy.
Crazy high. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And I
I'm
think,
like,
I do
but now
believe.
be cautious. Be cautious. Let me warn everybody. Be cautious, because there's a lot of people, myself included. I've got rolls that I went to the opening ceremonies and I got rolls. None of them's been opened. They've never made it to the grading companies. Now, what's the grade in there? I have no clue. I've not opened them to look. But my point of even bringing that up, I was one of many, many thousands that went through the lines to get their first struck coins. So there could be a lot of higher graded ones out there. They just haven't made it to the grading companies yet, because
So
people
will you open those? Will you be opening those to look? No.
don't have time, Nick. Joe, how many times have you ever taken and looked at every coin that you've bought to sell?
Never.
No, I get it, because I mean, it is time consuming, because I just started going through these rolls, and it takes a lot of time. And then all of a sudden you're looking and you're sitting here for a couple hours. I mean, it does take a long time to go through them.
Right.
So I get that. I mean, people, yeah.
If you're looking for every single coin for every error, then you won't. It's going to take forever.
Oh, well, right. Right. Yeah, that's another thing. My son just brought up a good point. I don't take, and the only way to discover something is to look at everything. Okay. That's going to be your only way. I limit that, Nick, now, and I've told this to a few people. I limit it to uncirculated coins. If I'm looking at circulated coins, now you can ask Flor, because she assists me when we go to like Brad's or one of the coin stores and we're looking. She will separate certain years, and I only look at certain years that are circulated that have known varieties.
Well, and you know and I think I heard him say this too, but you know exactly what you're looking for as well, though.
Yep. He does.
You know what you're looking for, and then probably you're quick at it, like where I'm not as quick at it, and I haven't looked at coins in a very long time, and I'm like, you know what, that's what I missed. So I've started going back to really going through all of these uncirculated quarters and other coins that I've had sitting around and it does take me a minute because I have to familiarize myself again with that particular coin. And then I also bring it up on my bigger screen so I can kind of see if there's any discrepancies as well. So as I have them up on the scope.
Well,
So
I would really love to hear from Joe, yourself, and people in the chat. And this is no joke. I can't use my scope for looking for varieties. I've got to use my loop.
I used to use my scope more than my loop, but now, especially with around you, I use my loop all the time. And I don't even, other than on auction, I don't even turn my scope on anymore.
I do, but I do it both ways, but I find that I can't see as well with the loop.
Right.
See, now I'm just the opposite, because when you're looking for varieties, you're looking for shadows. You're not looking for anything but a shadow. At least that's the way I look at it. Bill 457 says the loop is quicker. Okay, it's quicker.
But what you just said about shadows, though, I've had to learn, though, that your scope can create shadows that you are not normally there. So it may look like a double die when in fact it's not. So I do know the difference between, looking at that kind of stuff as well. And then I'll say, okay, if that looks kind of funny, I will go and use the loop to see, because then I'm like, okay, no, that's definitely not a double die. But your scope will make it look like there is a double die.
I assure you, your loop can do the same.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're not careful. Okay.
Okay.
That's why if I find something, well, first off, usually when I'm looking for varieties, as you say, I have memorized so many of them, and just my background. One of these days, Nick, I will take, and when I feel a little more comfortable with myself, I'll get into getting into the cherry pickers guide. It's just I feel a little funny about it, to be honest. However, I mean, variety coins is it follows the same rule as the English language. There's no rhyme or rule for anything that will fit across the board.
Right.
I mean, I think that would be a fair statement. How about you, Joe? And the only reason I keep coming to you is I know you like varieties as well.
No, that's a very true statement.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. And I'll tell you what, Nick, well, Ronald Harris is in here. He can tell you, I'll take, and many a times, it's like, and I know he's bought from me. I'm showing a coin. I try to highlight it on, like I just did that Alaska bear claw, but not all of them show up. And I'll just tell Ronald, like, hey, this looks better in hand than it does under my scope. And sometimes that's just the case. It's hard. So
Definitely. They don't show color. They don't show a lot of things on, you know what I mean?
Well, here you go. Mark A says, out in the world, I use a loop of sorts. At home, I scope it. Not real close at first, and show it on a monitor. Of course, when it comes to the 95 DDO cents, I let Floralina show me and pay her 20.
That's awesome.
You have to know about that, Nick.
I mean,
well, see, Floralina took, and Mark had a fancy holder, and it had a 95 penny in it. And apparently Mark just thought he had bought the holder when he bought it, because he got it for like $1. And he was willing to sell it to Floralina for like $1. And she says, oh, wow, a 95 double die for $1. And Mark didn't believe her. She bet him $20.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah, and that's where the $20 comes into play.
Oh, what I was okay.
Yes.
I was laughing because it says I let Floralina show me, and it cost. He paid her $20. So I was thinking he was paying her by the.
Yes, and she's right. She won because they handed it to me, and thank God, a friend of mine named Dave. He happened to be at the Joe. You've met him. He always comes to the Sharonville too. but he took and I handed it to him. I said, here, I said, I don't want to say nothing because I didn't want Mark to think I was just siding with Florida Lena and saying it was a double die when in fact it wasn't. But it was genuinely a 1995 double die Lincoln penny. A pretty nice one, too.
Very nice.
That's right, Mark. The memories.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? Florida Lena's right. I told her when Florida Lena bet him the $20, I'm like, oh, shit. Come on. Mark had to have looked at this. I can't believe you're doing this, Flora. I hope. And then when I seen this, like, holy snap. And then I gave it to Dave, and it's like, he authenticated it as being a true double die. So, and it got sold on this channel, too.
Yep.
Thank you, best friend.
You still got that $20, Mark.
Yeah, I still keep it.
Yeah, she's still holding that.
Yep.
So now we take, and when we meet up, and we meet Mark about once a month at the Green Hills Coin Show, we go to lunch, and he gets reminded of it quite often.
Well, was it worth more than $20?
Oh, yeah.
Coin?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, then I think it's a win-win.
Well, it was because I offered Mark a fair money value for it. And he actually made it a little bit more, but since he paid her 20, I mean that's his own fault. But I mean he would have made a much better profit had he not bet for Lena. I'll just leave it that way.
Got 2 minutes.
Okay, guys. Yeah, Robert just told me we got 3 minutes or 2 minutes left, so I think we better start closing it up, guys. I really enjoyed today's show. I hope you guys did as well. I want to show something before we leave. Something I picked up, everybody, at the last show that I really like. Check this out. This here is
cool.
it's Daniel Carr. Now, Joe and I was talking to the guy I bought this from. Needless to say, I paid a heck of a lot more than a 1 ounce of silver, but the silver in this here Daniel Carr token, the silver comes from the Atosha. He bought a silver bar from the Atosha, and then he ended up making these with the silver.
Nice.
You can make a bell out of that.
I mean, like I told the guy, yeah, how would you like to make a bill out of that?
No doubt.
But, you know, me and the guy, we were talking, and I told him, like, the 64 Denver peace dollar that Daniel Carr did, he used actual peace dollar blanks to make those peace dollars, so they all weigh the same. I said, when it comes to Daniel Carr, he's such an artist, and he thinks about when he's making this stuff. I mean, this guy he
all the little details, yeah.
Details that make you want to buy it, or at least the way that's what I feel. I mean, this in here, yeah, like I said, I paid. Oh, and it's got his signature on the back,
right?
So it's a Daniel Carr signature. I love it, I really do. And so yeah, but guys, it's 5 o'clock, so it's time for us to go. I'll tell you what, I'm going to clear off of here first, and then I'm going to let you guys go in order. I'll have, after me, Nick, you be ready, and then we're going to give it to Joe last. So, yeah, Joe's going to close it out then. So, okay, guys, you know me. I'm Robert with Cointalk. We're going to take, and tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have to get together a list. I haven't done it yet. Been lazy, been getting set up for this show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we did, but I'll get together a list for a show tomorrow, but 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have a action right here after the Durbans do. But for now, guys, take care. Have yourself a wonderful week. See you tomorrow. And between now and then, if you happen to be looking at coins, happy hunting.
Thank you. Today was a great show. And tonight I'll be on the Coin Tribe channel at 8 p.m. Bye.
Bye, Nick. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody. That was a great show today. Lots of good information. Yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow at 2 2 Central Standard on my channel, doing an auction. Other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys all for being in here, and have a good evening.